Hello YouTube. Another video for you guys here. Hope you guys having an amazing morning, afternoon, night, whatever time it is for you. Today's video is going to be me talking about things I want to do to improve, and I'll be going over certain aspects of that while I continue to get better at typing and learn a few other things. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. Put this here. Okay, they stayed. Okay, this is nice. Okay. I guess one thing I could start on is my sleeping habits. And yes, I'm using AI to help. You know, it's a good resource, so I'm gonna use it. But yes, my sleep schedule is totally messed up. But honestly, I haven't really cared too much about it. But at the end of the day, sleep is very important, so I should prioritize it more. Like, I don't be going to sleep till like 9 or 10, and then I'll wake up at like 4, and then I might take a nap in the middle of the day. So I'd actually prefer to wake up at 9 rather than go to sleep at 9, but until then, this is where I'll be. Now that I think about it, I've never really prioritized like my sleep schedule. Like, I've never like made sure I went to sleep at a certain time. It's very rare that I do things like that, which is not good because I need to. I believe it is beneficial if I made my like a schedule of things that I gotta take care of throughout the day and stuck with it. That way, everything is organized and structured in a way, and I get everything done I need, and I get everything that I need to do done, and I don't feel overwhelmed because I dedicate certain times to one thing and it's not cluttering my mind. A lot of people who are famous, they or I wouldn't say just famous, but a lot of people who get a lot of good things done for themselves, a decent amount of them bring up the fact that they have a schedule, so they are in a better position than I am currently. So I think it would be wise for me to at least look into fixing my schedule. Okay, I could have done better, but it's fine. Okay. My mindset could use a lot of growth, but I believe everyone's could, and I think that's one of the biggest things that I need to work on, is how I think about my life circumstances, why they are the way they are, and what I'm gonna do about it. Having a victim mentality, won't do anything about it. Complaining about how other people's life are, how other people's life is compared to you, won't do anything about your circumstances. So, and I am guilty of that second one, so I need to drop that because it won't fix my life. Also, explaining myself to people, that's one big thing I need to stop doing. Explaining yourself doesn't get you anywhere. Not for me, at least. Also trying to adhere to people's opinions and trying to seem like, try to be accepted by others. That's something I did a lot. Within the past few years, but I let go of that simply because it hasn't worked. People are still gonna not care, no matter how much I try. The attention don't really stay on you. You can't force people to pay attention to you. I also believe that the more you try to say something, the more it will run away from you. So, putting a lot of effort into try to make something that isn't there happen, I don't think that it will go the right way for you, or at least the way you want it to go. Yeah, I'm thinking about it now. There's no real time where I made any substantial impact. Throughout all my years of high school, even there were some times in middle school where I would do things so that people could be quote unquote be on my side, or I don't get looked at in a certain way. I'm not gonna say I regret what I did, but I regret that I didn't develop sooner. But doesn't matter. Nothing I could do about it now. Oh, another big one, time management. Time management. I think that's where, honestly, most people mess up at, what they do with their time. Because even if you don't structure your time, if you spend all of your time doing things that will only benefit you, and not just do things that just don't serve you, you will be a lot better, even if you lack time management, due to just you're changing the things that you're doing. I spend a lot of time doing what I shouldn't be doing, as far as like doing things that don't serve me, or just I believe I waste my time a lot. So me fixing that will definitely improve my life overall. I'll be on TikTok. Well, I don't think it's bad to be on TikTok for a super long period of time, but that's something that I do, especially Instagram. Like, I'll get on Instagram to like check a message or whatever, and the next thing I know, I'm scrolling on Reels. That's something I need to stop doing. Next thing I know, a whole 20-30 minutes done went by for me, and then I noticed, oh wait, I'm tripping. But I know for some people, like, it'll be like an hour or two before they realize they're scrolling. So thankfully it isn't that bad for me. I guess I could dabble in the things that serve me. I guess that would just mean like try to do things that actually are worth your time, whether that's doing homework for school, or okay, I just had a brain fart. But yeah, doing things for school, just anything that like that. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's common sense. I don't need to go like super deep into it, but also I think it's also okay to still do some things that you enjoy. Because at the end of the day, you're doing what you need to do so that you can do things that you enjoy. So there's nothing wrong to do it a little bit now, but I think the main priority, if you're trying to better your life like how I am, is to have a lot of your time dedicated to things that will get you where you want to be in life. So that's what I'm definitely gonna do. I think if I could dedicate an hour of every day, like I would say, yeah, an hour every day, like just into things that actually pour back into me, do things that later down the road that I can say like I didn't waste my time, and I just didn't just drift through life. I actually made some my time worth it. I'm pretty sure you guys hear countless stories of people and how they wanted to live a life that they had in their head but didn't end up doing it, and they regret it now that they're older. And I want to refrain from being in that position. And I know if those people could relive their life, they would definitely take advantage of the time they have. But I know you guys hear the motivational stuff time and time again, so, and I'm not a motivational speaker by any means, so. I don't think my communication skills need much work. Not that I'm aware of. I'm not like a psychologist or anything, but actually, let me not even think like that. There's always something to learn. Let's see, what is that Chat GPT telling me? Being more patient? I would consider myself a very patient individual. It takes a while for me to feel a certain way about somebody, which I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but I'm patient, so you know, I just accept it for what it is. Okay. Relationships. I don't know. I definitely care about people, but I don't have anybody that I'm super duper like. Well, I don't have anybody I can really relate to on like a really deep level. Not that I know of, at least. I mean, of course, there's like the regular stuff, but But I also don't feel like that's a big problem for me. I'm just chilling, doing my own thing. Okay. Okay, I'm back. I got in my head a little bit. Okay. Passions. Okay. Only thing I do for my passion, well, one of the main two things I do is lift weights and draw. And as far as drawing, I do want to get better at drawing, but I'm not disappointed. I'm not like mad at my skills. Same thing with my gym progress. But I guess at another point, if I could say that there's something I wanted to improve about it, is that I want to draw real people more. I only drew one real person, and that was 2 years ago. I wouldn't know who to draw though. Plus, drawing anime is more fun to me. Yeah, even since I was a kid, now that I think about it, I've always drawn like cartoons or shows that I like. In elementary, it was a lot of Transformers and Sonic. In middle school, it was a lot of Dragon Ball. And in high school, it was a lot of Naruto. And now I'm drawing. I was drawing people from other anime, but I'm not gonna lie. I know I'm gonna end up drawing a lot of One Piece. I started watching it actually a year ago now. That's crazy. I started One Piece last year, September. And I'm glad I decided to do it. Very good decision on my part. I'd say it's also very inspirational. Watching One Piece was inspirational for me. Naruto is inspirational too, but I don't know. It's just something about One Piece. Everyone who's finished One Piece understands what I mean, to a certain extent at least. Okay, let's see. Oh, I guess I could talk about the gym a little bit more. And about my weight journey. At the end of 2022, I was, 125, 130 pounds? Around that. I was lifting weights at this point, but I wasn't eating, so I wasn't really gaining weight. So at the beginning of 2023, I decided to during Christmas break of 2022, I decided to try and gain weight. And in January, I ended up being 140. By the time the middle of 2023 came around, which was the beginning of my senior year, I was 160. And let's see, by the end of 2023, I was 160. I was 169, I believe. So at the beginning of 2023, I was 140, and at the end of it I was basically 170. So far on my journey I already gained a lot of weight. What is that, 40 pounds? 130 to 170. Yeah. And then 2024, around April I was at 180. June I got to May I got to 190. And then from June all the way to December of 2024, I went back down to 180, and I was just staying there, just working out. And December of last year, 2024, I tried to go on a diet, and I lost a lot of weight because of it. So in the beginning of this year, I went back down to 168, and I went to the gym after not going for a while, and I saw my strength, and I was like, okay, I can't, because I wanted to keep, I'm not gonna lie, I still wanted my strength. So I'm like, okay, you know what, fine. I'm gonna just eat back the way I was. Plus, and this was around like February, March, and in March is when I really started to eat, because I started working at Chipotle. So by April I was back at 180. I was back at either 179 or 180. So basically in that range. And then after that, in the summertime, I ended up getting up to 190. So June I was 190 by like mid to end of June, and I've been there since. So currently September, which sounds crazy to say, 2025 is almost over. I'm 190. And this is the longest I've held 190, because when I got to 190 2024, I had it, but I didn't really hold it. I was always around 185, 180, and even now, like, I'm barely 190. I'm like 191, but I've been able to hold it. So almost at 200. What is that, 125, 130 to 190? It's not a bad journey for a couple years. What's that, 2.5 years? As far as future gym goals, I guess it will be getting to 200, or if I hold my weight, it will be to get leaner here, because I'm not that lean. I'm not fat, or like, I wouldn't consider myself super big, but I definitely can get leaner. Another thing could be reducing how much I stress. I believe that fear and stress add nothing to your life but more fear and more stress and anxiety. So I know it's not easy necessarily to just stop. Well, in some circumstances, I think there's other circumstances where it's like, okay, you know, it's not that serious, you know, but inevitably you're gonna feel fear, you're gonna feel anxious. My goal is to just, you know, try to limit it as much as I possibly can. Also, complaining. I try not to complain a lot because I can't do it. It won't change anything in my circumstances, so I just try to hold it all in. Because inevitably, what can I do? Plus, people don't care enough. I could boast and complain all the time to people, but at the end of the day, whoever you're complaining to still has their own life, still has their own circumstances. The last thing they gotta worry about is somebody else's issues. Let's see, some things that I didn't touch on. Yes. Who you choose to spend your time with, who you choose to talk to is also very important, and that's also something I struggle with too. Finding people that uplift and actually want to see you do better, people that don't complain, people that don't just drift through life. I gotta become someone who doesn't drift through life, don't complain, someone who can actually be there for others and find people who could do the same for me. I hope I can also be that way to one of you guys watching this video, and hope that in everything you do, you go hard on it and you are successful in whatever you decide to do. And not to let any external circumstances or situation stop you from achieving your goals. Plus, I think life is often a lot peaceful when you're not around people who complain all the time or just talk in negative ways, or, you know, just do things that just don't uplift, or just, you know, apply any type of value in any shape, form, or way. Habits is something else. I guess only doing things isn't a complete way to view it, because if you're not doing those good things consistently, then I guess it's not much of advice, right? So that's something I need to do, and that's what I would encourage you guys to do. Do things that benefit your life consistently, and our lives will change for the better. Okay, there we go. Now I'm not messing up as much. Okay, I had to try to fix this because I kept messing up on my typing. Okay, I'm surprised I still kept 40 word per minute. Okay. What was I saying? I don't even remember, but it's fine. I'm pretty sure I made something that could. I said something that had somewhat of a point, so that's fine. And in this process of me trying to change my life for the better, I believe having a clear view of how I see myself at said time period is important, because to get to that part of life, I have to do what that version of me would do right now, so that I can end up that way, inevitably. Okay, that's fine. Let's look at these stats. Hopefully midway into the series, my typing gets noticeably better. Okay, this is actually a good one. What would be the hardest thing for me personally? That would be, I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of time in a day, which is good, but until I start working again, and even when I'm working, also like I'm like, dang, what do I do? Like, but I just have to get used to, you know, keeping my head low and just you know, grinding and not being worried about like what's going on in other people's lives or anything like that. Okay, that's fine. I guess I could say how I would imagine myself, where I want to be in 5 years. I'll have the love of my life. I'd be a father, or I'd be one very soon. I'd be a person who is at peace in all aspects of life and financially free and able to provide for my family should that be, you know, needed. But I want the people that I care about to be happy. Got a couple cars. Got a nice dog. A nice loyal dog. All my homeboys up with me. You know what I'm saying? We all doing great. We all doing good in life. But yeah, pretty simple. Pretty sure a lot of men feel that way. They just want some money on them so that they're financially stable. They have a nice peace of mind. They got a nice lady. They got a nice house. Got a couple of cars. And can help their family or friends when they need to. Let's see. Okay, that's like 5 years. What about 1 year? Okay, 1 year from now, I will have a car. I will have a better diet. Peace of mind is also another very important thing that I will have. And still consistent on YouTube. I want to look at myself next year. I want me next year to look at me now and thank myself for not being inconsistent and wasting his time on things that don't matter. Also vlogging the gym too. Doing more gym videos next year. When I have a car, I can go to the gym more. And when I go to the gym more, I can make the gym videos. Okay, that's fine. But a year for myself, that's somewhat of a rough idea while I'm typing, because I can't really think about multiple things. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing much to it. Simple module you hear from a lot of other self-improvement. Okay. Okay, 54 is not bad. Okay. My typing speed going up a little bit. I think this is the best I've done so far. 54 words per minute. But I do need to work on my punctuation more, so I'll definitely do some more of that. But that is gonna wrap up this video, and hope y'all enjoyed the rest of y'all day or night.